going to play a call here. I believe, and I could be wrong on this, that the big blind is recreational. I have a pretty easy call now versus the shove. And I'll run it once here. Just avoids chopping, and then this guy continuing to play on the short stack. I'd rather him play at 40, or at least I'd rather him have a chance of playing at 40. It's kind of a little bit tilting in a way, hitting 2 aces and still losing. Nice hand to him. Raise the button here. I'm not sure if this player is recreational. I am the Pope, who is who I'm talking about. He is sitting on 2 tables and playing 4 stacks twice, which would indicate a regular, but his VPIP PFR all over the place. However, he may have been playing short-handed and then they might be okay. So I just have to pay attention to him right now. I'm not in the know. A Queen 5-4 is a pretty neutral board. We're going to bet most of the time with this hand. I'm just going to use an RNG off screen this time as a bet. Nice turn. I think we just have a pure C-bet for 2/3. I'm playing no larger sizes and no smaller sizes. So yeah, now the stakes are getting a little bit serious. If this is your first time watching me, I am a professional online player. This guy is definitely recreational, limping UTG off this stack. And I play, that would be a nice river card. I play from NL500 to NL5000 online, heads up and 6-handed. And we're doing I'm going to fold this. It's a marginal VPIP. And the 7-4 facing recreation. I think here I'm just folding. This is a 3-handed or a multi-way C-bet here for half pot. So I think I'm going to let it go. 7-5 suited here. We can play a mix of low frequency 3-bets, which is going to be this time. I rolled a 5 off screen. Otherwise, it'd be a call. Let's see what Ron does. Is he going to spoil the fun? It's taking a long time for some reason. Okay, we are going to pump it up. Like I mentioned, I have rolled this off screen here. You don't have to find these very polarized 3-bets. Wow, what a flop is that? You don't have to find them, but they are okay to use. Going to go around 40% here. And I believe this is a range bet for me, by the way. Feel free to look this one up yourself. If you are sufficiently polarized in the big blind, you actually connect with the 7-5 pretty well. Okay, this is an interesting spot. So obviously we have a pretty high check frequency. We are polarized, like I mentioned, so we do have random 7x, case in point. So it's not terrible for us. I'm going to go with a 2/3 sizing if I bet. I block his checkbacks here to 5-4, 6-5, ace-5. So I think I'm going to bet this one half the time, bet this time. The reason for checking sometimes is that I'm blocking the checkbacks, like I mentioned, which means if I block the checks, I unblock him betting into me. Regardless of it being a value bet or a bluff, I'm still going to get bet into more often. So I quite like mixing this hand into a check some of the time. Hey everyone, quick intermission to let you know that the highly requested Know Your Poker Discord is now live. Links on screen and below, so come in and chat some poker with some like-minded players. I'll see you there. Ace Queen, we're going to try and play one way or the other. Okay, going to raise this one around 1 in 3 times. Cool. So now because I am playing NL1000, regulars are good. In fact, I play against some of these guys even on my own regular grind. I am just going to be mixing a lot of these standard decisions. At lower stakes, you can deviate one way or the other, but tough games, I think you should just mix. Interesting spot on the turn, overcard, nut shot, and pretty good flush draw. My sizing's going to be pot if I do bet. And to be honest with you, I'm mostly going to bet this hand here. I think it's a good combo to be using. Jack 8, blocking the Jack 3, maybe 8-3, depending if he defends it. He probably doesn't. Going to bet this one in frequently. Did roll a 7, so that's an aggressive roll for me. Ace Queen you can take into a check call as well. Playing a small blind strategy here. This forces the big blind to defend with a wide range. Good sizing from villain. Ace Deuce raising it up. That was a nice door card with the Deuce of Spades there. 10-8 Deuce, I'm playing a large C-bet of pots. Basically going to rush money with my value and then otherwise check, not really play any middling bets. Ace Deuce actually works quite nicely as a bet here, and I am going to find it. It gets better hands to fold, like pocket 3s, 4s, 5s and things. And it can turn hands like that. I quite like the fact that this is a short-handed game here. I'm only playing 2 tables for the video. So what I'm going to do is just show you every VPIP that I play Some hands naturally going to be more interesting than others, but I think that represents the most honest take for NL1000, folding the 6 deuce. Queen 10, going to sometimes defend this hand. I do play small blind cold calls. I'm not 3-betting, but can call. No leads for me here. This board is not bad for me, but also not bad for villain. It's kind of a neutral texture. He is in position. He's playing with a big stack or a regular stack, so SPR is large at like 16. So typically, if it's a neutral situation for you and you're out of position in a large SPR, you can't find many leads. He pots. I'm not a fan of his strategy, to be honest with you. I think you should go smaller here. We have one thing to do, and that's to call. We do block the 10-8s, which is nice. He might not open offsuit. It's a good card for him. He has Queen 9 offsuit, and he has random jacks that he can bet on the flop, like King Spade Jack, which I can't defend. Obviously, we've got the gut shot to go with it, so we're not going to be... Okay, I am going to let this one go. I was going to say I'm not going to fold, but I think I have to now. This also seems very, very strong. I believe that he's going to be a little bit too equity-driven. Basically, I'm saying that I think it's probably a little bit underbluffed there when he goes pot into overbet. So I think I'm going to anyway fold in theory, but probably even if I was break even, still fold anyway. 5s is mostly a fold here, facing such a large 3-bets. This Jack 10 is a mix. I'm going to pure fold it. I've got a recreational behind me. He's going to probably over cold call, and I don't want to go multi over this hand. So despite there being a weaker player behind me, I'm actually going to VPIP less. It's not a mandatory rule that VIP player in the game play wider. You are going to play wider in some situations, and other situations actually tighten up. Opening the kings, I've gone with min because there's a very short stacked recreational. And 9-8 will open as well. Obviously 4-bet the kings. This seems like a fine sizing. And 9-8 versus suspected recreational, I'm going to go for a bet here. If I was playing 100 blinds, I wouldn't be so one way with this decision. But yeah, the shorter stack, I'd rather just push my equity here. Backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, second pair. Min raise, fine, we'll press call. Turn gut shots. Kings betting, I think 40% here. It's either that or third. I think third is actually better here. And 9-8, I'm going to go for the micro bet. Cool. Interesting. Not an ideal turn for me. It's not that bad, though. He doesn't have pure 6-7. Queen 10 he should never have. Pocket 9s is in there, but not always raising pre-flop. He also might call the pocket 9s because of the short stack big blind. He might want to play cold call there. I think we just play shove with my kings, no spade here. It's only one pot to go. Bluffs are pretty natural. Hands like king, queen of spades, ace, 10 of spades. It's not a thrilling shove spot, but it's definitely a shove. Aces? Aces, yeah. Looks like it. I don't think there's much I can do here. I think it's pretty standard. I wouldn't always be playing shoves, but on the 9 specifically, a very dynamic turn, I think I should play shove there. Ace jack, good flop, half pot, I think every single time. So just got stacked for $1,000. Don't let that affect you when you're playing. Provided you're happy with your decision, which I am, I think kings is pretty standard there for all intents and purpose. It's life. You play the next hand. Your goal is to, at least my mantra, is to consistently apply regardless of history. Or consistent application regardless of history. I like that mantra. It's kind of one that I made up and it kind of sticks with me well. So play consistently regardless of what happened, let's say. And that's what I'm going to try and do. Recreational limps in here. I think I'm going to take my raise with the ace 5. I don't think you have to raise ace 5. Pretty reasonable flop, but I'm okay with doing that. Okay, so we've got 2 SPR in position. What do we achieve? Achieve by betting? What do we achieve by checking? Well, he doesn't give us the option of either now. I think I'm just going to call here. I don't think raising is very good at all. It's not that I'm scared to raise, but he could just have nothing. I'd rather keep that nothing in his range. Ace-5 going to bet. I'm not concerned. I'm just stacking off here. Run it once as well. Cool, we get it in really nicely. 3 times. Fine. For the video. Check the Ace-5 here, pretty standards. And nice, we win all 3. A note there saying limp core 7-5 suited, color versus button. And Ace-5, I'm gonna go for an exploitative raise here. Because I chop with Ace-10 and I expect him to go bigger if he had an 8. So I'm just expecting there's some value to be had against some jack. This is obviously a bad play in theory, but if he's got Ace-Queen, maybe Ace-King, or an 8, I'm expecting a bigger bet than B40. So I'm just putting him to the test that he doesn't have better enough, and he's going to sometimes hero call jack. So very bad play in theory. I expect, though, good play in reality. 10-8 will call. Swing and a miss and a check fold for me. Never mind, but still probably check folding. 5-3 check back. So we've just stacked this guy. He's going to probably play a bit erratically. Make sure you're aware of the table dynamic, at least the suspected table dynamic. This pot bet is now less scary for me. Again, because I just stacked him. Cool. Only 10-8 is a give up here in theory and also against humans. Amazing turn. Bad luck to that guy. You just have other hands to bluff here with the 10-8s. Okay, sorry to this guy. 3 times again? Sure, let's do it. Oh, he gets one. It's kind of annoying. I honestly wouldn't do that off video, but I felt like it was the right thing to do. But this is annoying now because he's playing short. I would have rather just ran it once. If I lose, he doubles up. If I win, then he might buy in again for more than 12 big blinds. So that was definitely a negative EV decision to run 3 times. So hey, whatever. King 5 going to raise it in against the recreational here. I don't think it's worth taking a note, by the way, on his 10-8 play. Yes, it's pretty thin to just shove the turn, but remember, he just got stacked. So I think with the context of that, him having top pair short stacked, I think it's kind of expected there to be, you know, stacking off with a 10. So fair enough to him. 6s will raise it up. Stacking off facing the small blind here. Ace-5 off short stack. What do I do? Probably just fold, actually. We've got an interesting spot with the 6s. 5 SPR. I think I take my check. Nice turn. And fold the Ace-5. Pretty fast check from the player, which is nice for me. Also means that he may be less inclined to bluff the river as well, which is good for my hand. Great river. Unless he had a 5, of course. 3. So I need to be right around 28% of the time here. I expect he does bet a jack for the sizing. So if I fold, I'm saying he's got a jack or better 72% of the time. Unlikely. Nice hand. I think there's going to be enough random bluffs in there if you just give him some queen 10, queen 9, all these hands. I did mention that we could maybe infer that he might not bluff enough with the turn timing, but it's not impossible. King 10, I'm going to raise facing the short stack big blind again. Deja vu. This time not with kings, but with king 10. Definitely check it back here. There's not really many bad turns, and he may still be in that spewy mood because I've stacked him twice. Well, I stacked him once, and I stacked him for most of it the second time round again. We'll check. Keep his bluffs in. And cool. King 10, we can... Nice. King 10, mostly... I think we're going to go down the middle here, exactly half the time. This board is not terrible for us. Usually when you open and face a in-position cold call, mostly the button, you play a lot of checks, but King Jack 8 is not a bad texture. Plus I've got a decent kicker and a backdoor straight and a backdoor flush. So I think my hand is reasonable. Turn, I think half pot's good for me. You've actually got a lot of options here. You can go third, 40, 50, 60, 70. You can really pick your poison. I like half the time, and I like mixing it up. This time I'm betting. By going half pot, I'm just respecting the fact that in position can have lots of good hands, basically, and they are in position, and the SPR is large. So I'm not trying to bloat the pot massively. And on the river, I think my hand is worth a last street here. Is that right? Block, half, block, ace, jack, queens. Yeah, I think so. I think reasonable. If I had gone bigger on any street before this, then I think king 10's too thin. But yeah, with such a modest sizing scheme, I think this is just about okay. Jam the 10. All in from the recreational, 10s, ace, queen. Okay, nothing to take away. It's really important when you're playing to also pay attention to hands you're not involved in. That can sometimes update the game dynamic. So, for example, if this Colonel guy hits a flush, then this he did do that. This recreational is going to be very, very tilted, right? He got it in as a flip, flopped top set, and then still lost the hand. That's really annoying to a recreational player. He's now going to be, on average, pretty pissed off, and there's a good chance that he can then start spewing around. So really important, let's say it's a professional soft skill, is to be involved. He's put the you suck there, he's not happy, he's now going to start spewing around. Important to pay attention to game flow. King Queen, I am going to be... It's a bit of a tricky situation here, but it's going to be one of my raise folds against the under the gun player. Never mind, just going to raise it up instead. Yeah, this guy is still emoting, so yeah, he felt the pain from the last hand there. Understandably, pretty horrible situation to flop top set and still lose. Queen, queen, deuce, happy days. I don't believe there's a recreational behind him, so I'm a little bit interested for the cold call he's done. Anyway, we're going to have a small sizing here. Going to bet the majority of the time. Going to check. 10-6, 2/3. You can actually pot as well. Prefer 2/3 though. 10-6 is a great hand to be using. Okay, another pick your poison situation. Block 40, 50, 60, 70, nothing bigger. I think half pot's going to be my sizing here. I'm going to bet every time as well. Okay, this guy couldn't even wait for the big blind here. He wanted to bet immediately, so yeah. The story of this guy being a bit tilted is definitely checking out thus far. Also, he was opening 2x, now he's opening 3x. So we need to pay attention to this. If I've got any kind of reasonable hand, I'm going to be stacking off against him. I'm just going to limp in the cutoff here. This guy is, again, guys, he's very active. So I don't want to VPip too many chips and get shoved off my equity. So just limping in for that reason. In general, I'm not afraid to mix up the game tree. Too many poker players are too rigid and locked with their approach, doing the same thing every time, not having an open enough mind. That's not to say that limping is the perfect play here, but it is to say that I'm not afraid of mixing it up. He tank ISOs, so I'm going to go for the raise here. It seems a bit weak to me. And does get through. Did flop a flush. So again, my play is not necessarily perfect. Is the limp good? Maybe not. Is the ISO or re-ISO over his ISO good? Maybe not. The fact is I'm picking up on things as they go, so tilted, recreational behind me, tanky, small ISO from big blind, and I'm just reacting as I see fit. I'm not having a predetermined mindset where I'm not able to react to what's happening. 5-3 just calling here. Gut shots. It's not great, but I am going to call one. Hopefully he shuts down here. If he does, okay, cool. I will definitely start betting. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for a small bet here. I do get some folds, by the way, and I do plan on shoving the river. King, queen's calling this time. Like I mentioned, there are some folds. Cool. I'm not going to bet my hand ever with the king-queen here. I've got too many other hands to use. Straight draws are on the 6-deuce, 9-6, Jack-10 with the diamond. And I think I just go check call as well. He shouldn't be opening for a big sizing as a delayed c-bet. It's usually going to be around 1/3, 40 or 50. Hit top pairs. Going to definitely bet my hand. I think 2/3 as well here. This actually seems like a really good bet 3-bet situation as well. Yep, seems good enough. So if he raises me, then yeah, this seems very good for a re-raise. Fine. Of course I lose to an ace, but he can also bet that hand sometimes on flop and turn. If I had checked, he would bet the same sizing and I would have called. So life goes on. Gonna play limps only with the tilted guy behind me. Jack-8 fold. I am in position, but the guy is just too short stacked. It's hard to make this hand make money. For all intents and purposes, this is not a bad board for the big blinds. With a check back range, I think I'm going to play pure check with my hand. He flops random flush draws, you know, like 9 club, deuce and things. Fast overbets. There's obviously value in there, but hand's obviously a fold. I'm just a bit suspicious of the line, but my hand is just too bad there. I'm blocking all the bluffs, random 4-deuce, 4-3. Again, it's a limped pot, so you can have these offsuit cards as well. 4-deuce offsuit, 4-3 offsuit. It's not ideal having the 4 there at all. Continuing the discussion from earlier, if there's one piece of advice I could give any poker player out there who's coming up the stakes, it's to not be too focused and locked with one style of play. I really recommend approaching poker like an open book and reacting to the happening as it happens, as it comes down. So timings, sizes, game flow, stack sizes, where you are on the table in relation to the recreational or a good regular, how you can potentially overbluff, underbluff, and, you know, get creative. It's definitely more difficult, for sure. But it has a much higher expected return if you can get good at that approach. And also, I would say it's more fun as well. If you play robotically with one style of play, it's pretty boring in my opinion after the years. 9-8, just a check muck, I believe, theoretically and exploitatively. Recreational does unfortunately leave after that hand. Maybe the table breaks. This equanimity guy, I'm pretty sure is a regular. King 9-9, not a bad board, not range bet, probably checking 30% of the time. Hand I'll bet more often, and I'll bet this time. If it was 10-10, I would always range bet because I've got all the offsuit 10s, Jack 10 off, Queen 10 off, Ace 10 off, but I don't have the 9s. I don't open Jack 9 off or Queen 9 off or King 9 off. So the King 10-10 is distinctively better than the King 9-9. It's a small detail. Facing raise, I'll just call only here. Not thrilled to see a raise. In fact, with my range, I would not play any re-raises. It's just going to be call or fold. Interesting. I'm wondering what I do facing check. This hand's got the world. I think for him, it's just a large sizing, representing a 9 or better. Okay, for me, so remember, guys, I have no re-raises on the flop. So I've got Queen Jack, I've got boats, I've got trips, I've got quads. Yeah, I'm going to go for a large sizing when I bet here. And I'm not going to bet very often with my hands, mainly because it feels like if I bet, I don't get called by worse. Sure, there's going to be some Jack 10, Queen 10, but those hands probably don't even check call facing a large sizing, and there's not lower king X, he doesn't raise them on the flop very often. So I think this hand actually performs better as a check if I'm going to go with a large sizing. And now my hand seems pretty unfoldable here. Yeah. I didn't think about King 10, although I was losing that hand on the turn anyway. So yeah, I think my line is good. I'm very interested in that. I'll definitely chuck you guys a solution for that on the screen. Because I think my play is good. It's logical at least. Sometimes logic does not equal correct answer though in poker. King, Queen. I think I'm going to do the same thing and play a button limp. Because let's face it, if I've got a hand like 5-4 suited. Do I really want to raise and then have to end up folding? I think I would just rather play a limp with my range here with this really short stack. Making it up as we go along. Do we induce? Nope. Hold, please. Nice. Don't think my decision changed anything. He would obviously shove if I had opened, but again, I think it's logical to limp in when he's so short stacked there. I believe both of these tables now are just reg battles, to be honest with you. Ace Jack raising it up. I don't know who this player is, but he looks very, very reggy. Raise the 10-8. This is going to be a pure check for me. When I open extra small, he has extra 4x in range, basically, is a good way to think about it. He's going to have 4-3 offsuit that he wouldn't usually have as a defend. Fast check back. We have a lot of delays for a small sizing now. Just mix it up here, but this time. The idea is that I'm playing a very high check frequency, and obviously he bets a lot of good hands on flop, so when he doesn't bet, interesting big sizing, I can just leverage very wide. I'm actually value betting ace high there on the turn when the board is Badoogie plus paired. And if I'm value betting ace high, I can definitely bluff very wide. Okay, I need to note this one. So he opens pot on the button. Just wasn't, he's definitely a regular, I think, so I'm interested about that. I could be wrong, he might not be regular. Okay, 9-7 with the Jack 10-3, big sizing or check. Not going to bet very often this time, is a bet though. Fast call, which weights him toward quite a middling hand. The problem is the middling hand's now made a very good hand, because a middling hand is going to be like Queen Jack and Jack 9 and things, Jack 8 suited. So yeah, that timing actually is screwing me on the turn. I'm definitely pure checking. And I pick up some consolation here. Block 9-8. Queen 9 may have considered raising. Okay, I take my showdown. I think I'm just going to be ace 3 is my guess. 9, wow. Didn't think I'd be seeing a trap. Interesting. I don't hate it either, actually. And he definitely fooled me. Yeah, I actually think that trap is reasonable there, because I do have a bunch of bet check bets. So I bet the flop with a wide button range, leveraging over the Jack 10x. Then the turn's very good for him, so I check back a lot, and then I reopen on the river, and he has a nut straight for a check raise. It's a nice play, I didn't expect that. This guy, we note AP 1k, auto post 1k, and definitely folding. This is very, very, very large. I think excessively large, honestly. I don't know why he's gone that big. Put it this way, if he had gone 15 or 16, my life doesn't change. I'm just going to be folding a ton or folding a ton. So therefore, it seems excessive to me. Queen 4, I'm not going to re-raise. I was thinking about it, but I'm just going to press call. Play a turn. Interesting turn. I would say it's better for him. I do have, obviously, Queen 9 and 9-7. But he still has more Jack X and I do. Actually, this is very, very similar to the Queen 10 we saw earlier, where I folded turn. Queen 4 now. Okay. I'm going to exploitatively shove. I think it's very, very, very easy to overbluff the situation. Do I need to shove here or just do this? I guess this actually works better. Yeah, shove seems too big. Yeah, I think this is just going to work very, very well here. I think it's very easy to just overbluff the turn. He did go 1/3 on flop, and there's a chance that if he had a hand like pocket jacks, he may have sized up the flop as well. So when he goes 1/3 flop, and then just the overbet turn is, yeah, like I mentioned, very easy to overbluff. 5-4, going to mix it up. Going to pure defend this actually, so raise small frequency, call this time. Interesting, no lead. And I think we'll do last big blind as well. Ace king raise. IQ 1000, no idea who they are. Wow, interesting 5-4 combo draw. I'm going to pure check and pure call facing a bet, which probably sounds bizarre to some players. I'll chuck up the solution on screen after. We'll see how right I was. I just don't want to bet this hand. I don't block many good hands here. You could say I block ace-5, ace-4, that call the turn, but the thing is he would very often bet the flop, so I just end up blocking a hand like 5s and 4s. So yeah, I like pure check call. And on the river, I think just a small bet here is in order. If I have 9-8 of hearts, I won't be bluffing, but 5-4 of diamonds, I think I can get away with it. Yeah, seems good. A very interesting hand to finish. Remember, I played a small blind cold call here, so there's not too many bluffs in my range. He's calling. Our second call. 8s. Bad call in my opinion. Especially if I'm not bluffing very often there, but hey, happens. I think I played the hand fine. If I bet the turn, he would have folded, but that doesn't mean that I should have bet the turn. I do like my decision there. That is with the last hand of the video with a 6-deuce fold. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave the video a like and a subscription to the channel. I'm going to make one more of these videos at NL1k, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Anyway, it's been myself, Lee Johnson for KnowYourPoker. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and bye-bye for now.